There we go. Feels so good every time technology works. Okay, so today is really, really exciting because today we're really going to get a little bit more into weight loss. And we didn't get to finish everything yesterday, but we're going to stay on time today because I actually have a celebration session with those people who have spent the last 12 weeks with me. We're going to be celebrating at 4 o'clock. So I have to be on time today and stay and stick to schedule. So welcome, first of all, to Flow, the final day weight loss. And I just want to hold space for you guys. Let's take 3 big deep breaths together. Remember what we're going to do. We're going to put one hand on our heart and one hand on our belly. And we want to breathe into here. So, and then blow out through your mouth. You were present for yourself. You did this. You've learned something. Your life has been bettered in some way because of your own effort and your investment of your time. So congratulations. Let's do 2 more. And on this last one, I want you to hold that inhale and say, like, I'm holding space for myself. And when you exhale, I want you to like really imagine like you're pushing out the old way that things had to be done. Okay, we're going to make space, new space. So we're ready to go. Yeah, I love that. And superstar, shake out those shoulders. We're ready. We're calm, we're centered because weight loss can bring up the second we even say that word. I hate even using that word weight loss. I like saying shed to your flow to your naturally because those things are more authentic. Those things are more of how I believe. But in our head, whose head still says weight loss? Yeah, right? Your head still says, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. So we're going to use that term because I believe in the practice of neuro-linguistic programming. Anybody here ever hear of NLP? Anybody ever hear of NLP? So one of the things that I think is amazing is we call it transformational vocabulary. You know, when we say, oh, I'm so frustrated with our weight, I'm so frustrated with our weight, I'm so frustrated with my weight, then we're always setting in our nervous system a setting of frustration. Before we even think, we think the word weight, we feel frustrated. We feel stuck. I want you to have freedom around food. So therefore, I want you to be unstuck. I want you to flow. How do we get unstuck? We have different words. You know, it's really inconvenient to be overweight. Isn't it inconvenient, guys? Would you agree with that? It's inconvenient. It's a little uncomfortable. It's definitely uncomfortable to be overweight. It's a little inconvenient, it's a little uncomfortable. But you know what's nice about things that are inconvenient and uncomfortable is that with time and practice, we learn how to make the inconvenient convenient. And with time and practice, we can get comfortable with anything, pretty much. So we have a choice. We can become comfortable with the discomfort of being overweight, or we can become comfortable with the discomfort that we'll have to sit with in terms of our emotions and our life to shed the extra weight. So let's say that again. We can be uncomfortable and get used to it and practice being uncomfortable in our overweight bodies because we will do it. We will get comfortable with it. Comfortable enough. Or we could get comfortable enough with the emotional life and the variety of emotion and the daily stress that we experience in life so that we can not eat in those moments. It's your choice. Who wants to plant the seed today and practice saying the word weight loss, being a little uncomfortable rather than carrying around the discomfort of being overweight? Please raise your hand. Amazing. Amazing. So we're all in the same place and I'm really excited. So here's the rules of today. How are we going to rewire our brains? Anytime I say the word weight loss, I want your job is to kind of like say out loud, Inconvenient and uncomfortable. Weight loss. Say it. Good. Weight loss.
Inconvenient and uncomfortable.
Okay. Weight loss is inconvenient and uncomfortable, but it's not frustrating. It's not hard. It's just inconvenient and uncomfortable sometimes. So it's something to think about. Now, what if I said that shedding weight, when you think natural weight, think fun. What does natural it mean to you? It means like organic. It means authentic, right? It means calm, confident, right? So when I say natural weight, I want you to think happy place. Okay? I'm going to say natural weight. You say out loud, happy place. Natural weight. Natural weight. You're saying no. You're saying no. And tell me, why are you saying no?
But it's totally not my happy place. You know, it's my natural place, but not my happy place.
Oh, can we all just give her?
Why?
Because you just brought to the group the thing that stands between you and your natural weight being your happy place.
Mhm.
What is it?
Kind of gaining weight with age, and suddenly that becomes natural. Like, it's not a weight gain because I ate too much and it's stuck, but it's like, oh, well, at a certain age, you know, your metabolism changes, and therefore I'll just have to accept it, you know, and losing weight is so hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, losing weight is hard. So what do we say every time someone says losing weight is hard? Weight loss is inconvenient. Weight loss is uncomfortable. That's not hard. It's inconvenient. Yes. As we get older, we dislike inconvenience. Right? We have less patience to be inconvenienced. As we get older, who dislikes is less patience to be uncomfortable? Right? I remember my grandfather, when he was, I don't know, he was only 60. No, I wasn't old. And I think he was even 50, but I was 10 and it felt old. So, right? Like he was probably only 50 when I was 10. And when all of the cousins would get together, he would pay the 10-year-olds to watch, would hand us $10, which when I was 10 was a lot of money, and be like, I don't want to hear from anybody under the age of 5. He had no patience for grandchildren under the age of 5. So anybody 10 and up was like responsible to make sure that grandpa got time with the older grandkids, and you were zoche, you got merited to like spend time with him as you got older, but like 5 and under, he couldn't handle it. And then he'd have to leave the family event. And my poor grandma, like you would see her face, her frustration. And as they got older, so sometimes she would put him to bed and come back down because she wanted that time with her grandchildren, right? But grandpa, he couldn't handle the inconvenience of it. He couldn't handle the discomfort of it. And I mean, he missed out on a lot. He missed out on a lot. I don't want anybody here to leave today missing out. So whether we work together, which again, I'm set that intention, we're going to talk about how we can work together today. But no matter if you work with me or you work on your own, or you get a book, or you get a different coach, or whatever you do, don't tolerate missing out on your life, because you can't train yourself to tolerate a little inconvenience, a little discomfort. What's really natural to you that you do already, that you actually have trained yourself to tolerate some discomfort around to do? Because come on, Anne, I'm sure you have like some awesome skills.
I'm positive.
You're positive. So to be positive, that means what's happening to the negative stuff?
I try to skip it. But
Try to skip it.
I don't take it inside of me.
Don't take it inside of you. So when you don't take it inside of you, what skills do you use to do that? How do you do that? Give us an example. Like, make it concrete.
Well, it's not very pretty. It's like my husband just had an eye surgery and he was suffering a lot. And I didn't take it inside of me. I felt I could see he was suffering, but like, how should I say it? I distanced myself from whatever was too hard. So distancing was the word. I don't know if that in
And how
English.
does that feel? And how does that feel for you?
That was a coping mechanism that I could handle. It wasn't exactly, I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, but that was how I do it. I kind of like, don't go into it with other things also. I just, if I have a fight with my brother, it's his fight, not mine.
And you're willing to forgive. You're like, oh, you want to get over it? No problem. I'm here for you. Or like,
I talk with my husband about it, like, cause he's my only brother, so I'm not gonna fight with him. And not fight, but disagree. We have different views on Israel and politics, and I just let him talk. I don't know. So
and I bet that's uncomfortable.
Very.
But you choose the relationship, and so you tolerate the discomfort.
Yes.
Is it worth it?
Yes.
You only get one body.
You only have one brother.
And you only have one body.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for not being his sister.
See, look at how special Anne is. Look what you brought today. Thank you, Anne. Okay, Anne, you're also getting an Amazon gift card. That's it. That's it. Winner of the day, Amazon gift card for Anne. Buy yourself a new water bottle. Yay,
Thank you.
Anne. Amazing. Please make sure I have your email so I can send it to you, because Amazon gift cards go via email. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Guys, do you see what Anne just said here? Like, who like wants to summarize? Okay, for everybody who just came in late, we did a little NLP, some neuro-linguistic programming. And I'm asking you to go back on mute for a sec. At the beginning, and we said, well, we all hate the word weight loss. Weight loss feels like frustration. Weight loss feels like hard. Losing weight is hard. Losing weight is like saying my body's more important than my soul. And so every time we say weight loss, what's everyone going to do today? Say
Inconvenient.
Inconvenient and uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable.
It's inconvenient, weight loss. It's uncomfortable sometimes, but it's not hard, and it's not stressful, and it's just inconvenient, uncomfortable sometimes. And Anne just said, like, that's amazing. Like, she only gets one brother, and so she's willing to put up with some inconvenience and some discomfort in that conversation and leave him space. And now she's going to apply that and do that for herself. Because she only gets one body. And the body's going to be with you from the moment you take your first breath till you take your last breath, even longer than your brother will be with you. It's with you every single second that you are conscious, and every second you're unconscious. So it's like a deep relationship, right? You said you value that relationship more than you value the discomfort. We just need to remember that. We just forget it all the time, that this is a relationship. Myself as well. Just, we talked about journaling. We talked about appreciation. Does that like tie in now? Why appreciation makes you value the relationship? And so therefore it makes doing the eating or the drinking easier. So that was really amazing. And do you mind just putting yourself on mute so we don't hear background noise? For everybody, that's true. Thank you so much.
For all the birds.
Yeah. Amazing. Thanks so much. So today, before we begin, it's crucial that we understand that we're going to eat and drink based on what we learned today. In page 16 of your workbook, it says, ask God for help in these 3 sentences. May I be blessed too. I am opening up to receiving. I open to receiving. And 3, I am taking action to co-create. I just got chills. I'm pushing on my mug. Can anybody tell? Like we talked about yesterday, I'm pushing on my mug because every time I say it, I get emotional. When we talk about our body and we talk about physical exercise, remember yesterday we talked about how when you're pushing here, you felt an emotional reaction of strength, right? I'm strong, I'm in control. So imagine if you dance. Imagine if you stood up right now. Everybody stand up. Stand up, stand up. You're holding your daughter, pick her up. Stand up, stand up. Connie can't stand up, but she's gonna put her hands on her hips because of her knee. And she's gonna act like she's standing up. And I want you to put your hands on your hips, roll your shoulders back, and put a smile on your face. Now, weight loss, inconvenience, uncomfortable. Smile. Who feels their energy and their emotion change when they move their body differently? Anybody? Yes, great, amazing. So I sit back down. I think that physical exercise and daily physical movement is really important to a healthy lifestyle. Because when you move your body physically, and it doesn't matter if it's yoga, it doesn't matter if it's walking, it doesn't matter if it's dancing, it doesn't matter if it's strength training, okay? You set the nervous system to feel confident, to feel empowered. I know some people, when they finish a workout class, they almost have this huge drop in their energy. They're on this high when they're working out. And then sometimes like the temptations hit them most afterwards because the rest of their life isn't measuring up to the high they feel in their workout. And they're not even aware necessarily that that's what's happening, but they're at this great workout session and maybe they're walking home. And I have a client, I haven't had that many men clients, but I have had 2 that worked with me privately very successfully. And one of them would drive back from Haifa. And he had this amazing day at work. And he's on his way home. And he knows at home, he has his wife and he has his kids. And like, he's not as sure he's a star there as he's sure he's a star at work. And he would find himself pulling over to the gas station and buying candy bars on the way home. He would be eating all day. He even packed his cooler of food to take to these trips to Haifa. And we lost 30 pounds together and working together over 6 months. But he was stuck in a plateau for a good month of that time, because twice a week when he would do this drive to Haifa, we packed his car, we did everything, but the way home, and he wasn't willing to feel the discomfort. It took 4 one-on-one sessions to open up, to feel the discomfort and the inconvenience of, am I good enough when I get home? Am I good? Like, I don't feel like the superstar at home like I do at work. Of course he's going home. He's a good husband. He's a good father. He shows up. I don't feel so like I'm on fire here. It's like really stressful there. Can anybody relate to this? Anybody relate? So everything in the end is going to come back to Anne said so beautifully. Like you think I would have packed the audience with her. Like she's fake. She's not fake. She is sincere. She values the relationship more than she values the inconvenience. Let's value the relationship today and then understand that anything we talk about making physical fitness a part of your life. Put movement into more of your day. Okay. So if putting your kids to sleep or dealing with your older children is very stressful for you, or dealing with your husband is very stressful for you, do it around movement. Instead of having that conversation, sitting down, take a walk. Move your body at the same time. Don't let the negative energy kind of get stored in there. If you find 3, 4 p.m., you're having that like, ugh, right? At 5, 6 p.m., usually I'm up early. I feel done between 6 and 8, and my anxiety level escalates accordingly. As I get more tired, my anxiety rises. Anybody else feel like that? Like the more tired you get, the more anxious you feel. So I have little things that I do. So number one is I cook dinner before 3 p.m. I literally have a rule. I don't cook dinner after 3 p.m. If there's not a dinner made at 3 p.m., it's leftovers or it's like omelets. That is like that, because omelets to me is not even cooking. Like any of my kids, I can send one of my teenagers to make omelets. But I really make a habit to, when I take my lunch break from work, to prep dinner or to have leftovers and cook only 2, 3 times a week. Because I know I'm at emotional and mental risk for making poor choices. I'm like, let's order pizza. 5, 6 p.m., you ask me what I want for dinner, pizza. 3 p.m., I'm like salmon and broccoli and brown rice and salad and soup. So if I make myself dinner at 3, I'm going to eat that dinner at 6 and I'm going to be grateful because I value the relationship. But if I wait till 6, it's going to be iffy. So that was stage number 1, right? Think about in advance when it comes to your meal planning. Think about in advance, what are the times of day that I need to invest in with that spiritual, emotional energy, and how can I add movement to the picture? If I'm cooking, I put on music. I put on other things, because what do people do when they cook? They nibble, they nosh, because I'm moving, I'm this, I'm not paying attention. You got to surround yourself intentionally with non-food stimulation. This is especially true if anybody felt like they related to the ADHD conversation. Non-food stimulation, music, right? Scented candle, texture, like using mugs and water and cups that are glass or ceramic where you feel the texture. Stimulate yourself, not with food. And use the body, use movement, anchor yourself in. So number 1 tip for today, very practically, make sure you have dinner ready before you hit your crash point of your day. And let's say you're on the way home then from that workout, or in the morning, you have this high, you worked out, you feel amazing. And then you're going into the office where maybe you're not sure you're going to feel amazing. Or you're going into your house and your house is disorganized and messy, right? Have something to help you mind the gap. At the end of today, I'm going to give you every single piece of I can for today, but we have to work together to keep going with this, or you have to take it on your own. So when you finish today, remember, you're not going to be where you want to be yet. There's a gap. How are you going to mind the gap? How are you going to transition gracefully? You got to get as many tools as you can around you. So if you are leaving exercise and you notice there's something happening between exercise and work in the morning, or exercise and bed at night, how can you transition more smoothly? Can you have a special audiobook or podcast that when you listen to it, there's no way you'd stop at that for a grocery store on your way, right? Is there music you'd listen to? Can you avoid, this drives my husband crazy. I do not take phone calls from the kids when I'm in Zoom, when I'm at work. Like my daughter, like she knew she walked in right before we started recording. She's like, okay, like it. Because I'll lock the door, I won't listen. Because if I take their calls while I'm in work mode, I'm not serving them. I'm not really listening to them. I'm thinking about my day. I can listen before, I can listen after, and I can be fully present for them, but I'm not serving them. They can figure it out themselves. They can call their dad if he wants to take their call. They can call their older brother. They can call their older sister. They can wait. When I was 210 pounds and I started working out for the first time, 30 minutes, I had a 3-month-old and 4 kids under 11. It was the craziest time of my life. And I had to work out at 4 p.m. every day. I had to move my body at 4 p.m. when everybody was around. And I had to put into my nervous system the belief they can wait 30 minutes. I will check back with them between Zooms. I will check in with her when we're done teaching. Before I start the next one, I'll be like, okay, guys, 1 minute. I'm going to check in. Everything's okay. Good. Focus. It is so hard. No, it's not. It's inconvenient. It's uncomfortable to put up healthy boundaries and be present. So if in the evening, your husband, your adult children, your cousin starts hard emotional conversations with you, okay, you have two options. You can take the call and you can sit and value two relationships over however much discomfort is going to come and inconvenience, or you can say, hey, I value this relationship and I'm the one in the relationship. I'm going to value myself. And I'm going to say, hey, I'd love to have this I'd love to have this conversation. I need to do it in the morning. I can't be available for stressful conversations after 9 o'clock at night. I'm just, right? It's the same way I'm not going to choose what I'm going to eat for dinner when I'm in my tiredest place. I'm not going to choose to be in a vulnerable conversation when I'm at my worst, when I'm at my most tired, my most vulnerable. Healthy boundaries done with love mean, God, help me. May I be blessed too. I am not like, I had to go without my phone for 72 hours. My husband left my phone at home. We went on a weekend vacation. He left my phone at home. The whole world had to get along without Lilia Ronan on Facebook and Instagram and coaching groups and clients. Everyone had to get along without me for 72 hours and the world didn't stop. Nobody had a heart attack from eating too much chocolate because I didn't answer a text in 72 hours. It's the lesson of Shabbos. God runs the world. It's the lesson of Shabbos. We can unplug. The whole world isn't going to end because we put up a boundary. I want to pause here for a sec before we talk a little bit more about food, but let's do one more time. If I say weight loss, you say inconvenient, uncomfortable. Say it, inconvenient, uncomfortable, but not hard, not frustrating. Okay, let's pause here and take some questions on anything we stuck through. And then I want to talk, I want to just ask you guys, what's your biggest food challenge? We talked a little bit about dinner. We talked about breakfast yesterday. Who has something they want to share or a question they want to ask on food? Lynn, you unmuted.
Just, you mentioned before
Yes.
about your natural weight. Please define what you meant by your natural weight, happy place, shredding weight.
Right? That's such a good question. How do you define it? What does it mean to you?
My natural weight. What is my natural weight? My natural weight, I think, is what I have in my head as my goal, that I don't feel like I'm carrying a knapsack of an extra 15 to 20 pounds.
Amazing. So you just answered the question. That's exactly it.
Okay.
Natural weight is exactly when I don't feel like I'm carrying a different person on my back all the time. And that's not an exact number. That's going to be a range, which is thank the Lord, because no one weighs the exact same thing every day. But that's going to be a place in your mind and in your nervous system where this is me. I feel like me. I look like me. I know who she is. I move and I feel like me. I don't feel like there's nothing weight. Like, gosh, has anybody ever been ill, chas v'shalom, and lost a lot of weight and like not felt like yourself? Like felt frail, felt weak? Baruch Hashem, I see not too many people have ever felt that way. But I've had people in my life. My grandmother, who's 96 right now, she looks frail. She's 4'10". Okay, she's a tiny person, and she's always weighed about 95 pounds. But she looks, and then she, at some point with her medication over COVID, She got up to like 120 and she looked like big and she didn't look good and she didn't look like herself. Also, she's having a hard time walking. And then the dementia set in and she forgets that she's hungry. And it's really hard for her to eat. And if I could go back and have her be 10 pounds heavier, 15 pounds heavier, and have her mind, and she had to deal with the discomfort of, not having her husband anymore, but she was surrounded by over 100 grandchildren and great grandchildren on a regular basis from 3 children. Each of her 3 kids had like 7 kids. Okay, like my mom only had 4. The other kids all have 7 or 9. So but she has a ton of grandchildren and great grandchildren now. And she used to every morning say every single one of their names. But you have, when you're 96, you have a lot of life. You have a lot of triggers in there. And over COVID, surrounded by the news, cut off from everybody she loved, she put on 15 pounds. Can you blame her? No. It was super uncomfortable and inconvenient. But if she could trade having that versus forgetting that she's hungry ever and being frail and weak, she would. So your natural weight is neither of those places. Your natural weight is when you're healing and you feel good and you feel like yourself. And I don't think any of us are going to lie to ourselves, right? Is anybody here over lying to yourself and pretending like you won't know when that place is? Like that place is really so dangerously going to be so much larger that you would be at risk in your health. Can we all agree that that's not going to be the case, right? No one feels that good, that heavy, that it's a risk to your health. Okay. So excellent question. Alana, do you have a question? Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, you said there were 3 things. You said, may I be blessed? May I be opening to receive? And what was the third one?
I am taking action to co-create.
Okay.
And that's where we make the choices. So we make the choices.
Okay.
So there's 3 really important skills to master your natural weight, to get there. So number 1 is pattern recognition, right? Change. I said this in the video this morning, but change is automatic, progress isn't. It's one of my favorite things I said on Instagram that Tony Robbins, when I worked with him as a life coach, and to become a better life coach, he has this saying, and he says, change is automatic, progress isn't. The world is constantly changing. Our life is constantly changing, but we're not always improving. That requires intention. Okay, our life changes, but it requires us to invest in tools and skills. And guess what? That investment is the best investment you'll ever make, especially in a down economy, because it can't be taxed. You can't lose it. Nothing can happen to it. It's part of you. Your investment in yourself, you'll have in your body till the day you die. Like we said, it's your closest, most intimate relationship. So pattern recognition. So remember, I just mentioned that pattern of, I know 6 p.m. I'm done making good decisions for the day. It's really hard. It takes a lot of intentionality for me to make good decisions after 6 p.m. So anything that's going to happen in my evening needs to be scheduled in advance. So if I'm going to have time with my daughter, it needs to be scheduled, and I need to have healthy boundaries around what that time is going to look like. Okay. After dinner. So it's not around food. It can be my kids sometimes want to watch a movie with me in the living room, in that area. And I say, no, we can watch upstairs in the office where no food is allowed, or we can watch in my bed snuggled up. Far away from food. They want to snuggle with me. They want to snuggle with me. It's okay to put up a relationship boundary and be like, this is where I'm available. Come be with me. Pattern recognition. Alana, you have another question about food, or that was your question?
No, that was it. That was my question.
Okay, great. So no problem. Just checking in. Anybody have a question before I talk about the other 2 skills? A food question about a different meal. We talked about breakfast yesterday. We talked a little bit about dinner tonight, and dinner to after dinner eating, right? So dinner to after dinner eating is about understanding your energy and choosing to co-create with God. So I'm open to receiving good things into my life, but I'm willing to take action. I'm willing to put up healthy boundaries. I'm willing to protect myself and make decisions in advance of my most difficult time. And then I'm willing to, like, whatever is your most difficult time, you have to protect like you would protect your child, like you would protect a child, because that part of you is not able to make all those decisions for herself anymore. She's too tired. She's too worn down. You have to protect her by making those decisions in advance. So who has a food question? Anybody? Like, is a different meal? Does like lunch, snacking, different time of day snacking? Anybody have like, yeah, Anne?
Yeah, the evening snacking, because like finish dinner and then there's another 5 hours till you go to sleep.
Amazing. Yes, this is so big. And I can give you the perfect nighttime routine and it'd still be hard to follow if we're not willing. Weight loss, what do we have to be willing to do? Weight loss. Inconvenient, uncomfortable. So in the evening, we could sit around and be inconvenient and uncomfortable and not snack, or we could layer in more fun things to do. And then protect, however big that window of time is, between when you stop doing the things and you have to transition into bed. So remember, I talked about a special playlist or a special send, having your phone put away before you enter the house, right? So you can't be, what's your evening like, Anne? Anne's being amazing today. Let's give Anne a round. Anne, tell us about your evening.
Evening, we're a boring couple. So I finish eating at like 6. And then I don't know, I do some crocheting, read a book. I on the phone with my kids and my cellular, you know, just Googling. And then by 7 o'clock, we start to watch a movie or a series or something like that. And then my husband goes to sleep early and I hang out till like 10 on my own. And
So
like,
it makes perfect sense why it would be inconvenient and uncomfortable from when your husband goes to bed till you go to bed
mhm.
tonight. Doesn't that make perfect sense to everybody? Like, can't you see that unfolding? You have this
Yeah.
amazing day. You have this time with your kids. You have this time with your husband. And then everybody leaves and you're just left with yourself.
Mhm. That
And
starts at
silence.
7 o'clock. By 7 o'clock, from 7 till 10, it's like, what do? Just drink water?
Well, what do you do with your life? You have 3 hours, 7 days a week, 21 hours a week. If someone would say time is your most precious resource, forget about what you're eating during that time. What are you doing with yourself? Are you resting? Are you relaxing? Are you bettering yourself? Maybe you need to like, what are you doing during that time? Should you be sleeping? I don't know. You tell me, what could you do with 21 extra hours in your week?
Yeah, I do a lot of crocheting and I do reading, but that doesn't fill 21 hours. And it's not 21 hours. Motzei Shabbos is different. It's more of a challenge because we have more goodies in the house. And Friday night, you know, what do you do Friday night when you have the whole family over? For everybody.
Absolutely. That's why Shabbat is a big focus. Absolutely. But that's even more than 21 hours now, because now you just added extra time Saturday night and extra time Friday night. How could you invest in those relationships if your family, you're blessed to have your family around who wants to be around you?
They don't live here. They're all over Israel.
So do you guys invite guests every Friday night?
Not really. After Corona, we kind of stopped.
So I'm going to put it to you. What would you like to invest in? Because food, we don't need, like you're saying, you're full and satisfied. You're not hungry. So if you are hungry, could give you like what kind of snack to have. No problem. Done. What are you hungry for? What would fulfill you in those hours? This
I
is
don't
a
know.
huge question as we get older.
Right. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. Like all the
So
cooking I go to do during the day.
what do you do during the day?
All the chugim, like the classes, I go to vision, you know, seeing your future.
That's
vision.
entertainment, but that's entertainment.
Right.
I'm not talking about being entertained. I'm talking about service. Remember, we talked about service-based energy. If we don't feel like we're of service, then it's really hard
Hmm.
to get ourselves to feel motivated. We are motivated by service, by being useful, by being purposeful. So really the question is, for you to journal, will you take that challenge? What do I want to contribute? You have so much. Look how much you've contributed to these calls. How do I want to contribute?
Mm.
What project could I work on? What charity? What campaign? What hosting could I do of Seminary Girl? And the world's the limit.
Right. I do some of
I
them.
put up,
It's not enough. I
so,
kind of run a senior group, but that
mhm.
doesn't make it all now.
So it's really interesting, right? Because here you have, instead of the desire to eat being something happening to you, it's happening for you. It's opening you up to, oh my God, I have so much more to give, and I have so many more years and so much more ability to give. What am I going to do with it? Oh my God, this is amazing. I have time. I have ability. I have energy.
You make it sound so good.
That's how your natural weight feels. Natural weight feels good. Natural weight feels good because it means we're being drawn to use our energy in service.
Mhm.
You know, you can look for a Torah class in America. That would be their afternoon, would be your evening. You could start one here. You could be absurd, like, you know, like you crochet for babies who don't have mothers.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah. But now when you're doing it, are you thinking about the babies? Remember, we said take the actions you already do
Yeah.
and add intention to it. Think about the people you're helping.
Right. I do. Like we
Yeah.
do hats for soldiers, and I think of who's going to wear it, you know?
That's amazing. So take that same power you already have, and at night, maybe journal what else you could do to help those soldiers if that cause speaks to you. Or, you know, send a letter, write a letter and to your grandkids that they get in the mail, old school, and be like, I feel, you know, when my husband was traveling, we really suck for a long time. Sorry, it's not a nice word, but we really are not skillful at communication when he travels. And so we have been working on it slowly. And I had this idea that I would write him a love letter, even if he wouldn't get it. Because I tried writing them to him and sending them. And then when he didn't respond, I wasn't resentful, which did not help. So I just said, I'm going to write them because really when I write it, I feel so close to him, but I'm not going to send it. And that really worked because it was really all in my head. I was feeling distance from him.
Mhm.
You know, not he was like mad at me or something. No, he was just somewhere else and he was busy and he was trying to work. While he was working so hard, he's thinking he's doing it for his family. I'm thinking there's so much laundry.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that's what I would say. So I think I want to pause here for a second. And with your permission, guys, can I tell you a little bit about what it's like to work with me?
Sure.
Okay, great. So I have two ways that I currently work with clients, and one is in group coaching, one is one-on-one coaching, and one is a mix of the two. My group coaching program is 12 weeks. It's called the Shabbat Ideal Weight Blueprint, and it deals with the spiritual and psychological aspects of stopping weight gain, of stopping emotional eating, of learning to be in your body, learning to answer these questions, learning how to be comfortable and free around food, how to be less of a people pleaser, how to be more okay with the discomfort and inconvenience. But it's not centered on weight loss. Okay, and I want to be clear about that. Stopping weight gain is critical for long-term sustainable weight loss. But the 12-week group coaching program is not centered on weight loss. It is centered on bringing up some of these uncomfortable questions. And at first, that, depending on if you're an emotional eater, can sometimes slow down your weight loss a little bit. Because if you're an emotional eater and we're bringing up, shoot, I'm not making enough of a contribution. I have so much energy and I need somewhere to give it. I want a snack. Well, I figure it out. Okay. So we have to use the tools, we have to practice them. But then what you're going to see is people go through it twice, is they start to lose weight so much faster. And all these blocks that they had now you have momentum. Now the road is more smooth. Now you're flowing to your natural weight. But then I have people who really want to lose weight now. They understand that no, you can't be frustrated because it's just inconvenient and it's just a little uncomfortable. But you have to be a little bit more inconvenienced and a little bit more uncomfortable to build the routine and to have the awareness and focus on habits that make eating for weight loss both attractive and convenient, because weight loss needs to be convenient. For the rest of your life, there's enough, like I said, to sustain your healthy weight. You're going to be inconvenienced plenty. You're going to be uncomfortable plenty, and you're not going to emotionally eat. But to lose weight, all those healthy habits have to be attractive. They have to be convenient. And other food has to be prepped in the fridge. The water has to be lined up at the beginning of the day. Like, you have to have your workout scheduled. You have to have a workout you like. You need someone to check in with. You need to make it fun to do all the daily things. And then you're going to notice, shoot, and I got off track for 24 hours. And that's where you need to be willing to be uncomfortable and inconvenient, right? To be like, oh, I'm falling. I'm safe. I can land. Okay, keep going. Okay, right? Have you ever felt like when you get out of control with food, it's like you're falling down the rabbit hole? Like, imagine Alice in Wonderland, like, and like at some point her skirt billows up and she's like, parachuting down. Those are like those life skills. Okay. So those are the two ways I work with people, and you could do it together. You could do it separately. Okay. But don't get me wrong. It is impossible to maintain a healthy weight that you lose if you don't work on the emotional skills, if you don't work on the entertaining, the Shabbat, the what am I doing Friday night, the what am I doing Saturday night. You have to work on your nighttime eating habits. You have to work on your breath work so you have tools to de-stress, tools to open your creativity, have a community to talk to at night, be sent to a different community, right? Have an accountability partner. All those things are necessary. But the speed that you want your weight loss to go is the speed you're willing to make changes to your routines and habits. Any questions on that? Is that clear? Okay, so I said the first rule is pattern recognition, recognizing your patterns. Now this goes with food also, okay? The second step is use your patterns to empower you. So this is what's amazing about food journaling. And whether or not you are trying to lose weight or maintain your weight, food journaling is key. Not to track calories, not to track points, not to track carbs, but to be mindful and intentional. Food surrounds us. It is like the most abundant thing. And yet 1.6 million Israelis are hungry and don't know where their next food is coming from. And so one of my surprises is I announced just in the group that for every pound somebody who's working with me loses in this month of Shvat, which is the Hebrew month we just started, I'm donating $1 to Meir Panim to feed hungry people. And I invite anybody who wants to match me every pound you lose to donate $1 to Meir Panim to say, hey, I'm done overeating. I'm going to send somebody food who doesn't have. I have abundance. I'm safe. So if you want to take this to the next step, and the last step is pattern creation. You create new patterns that actually serve you. So that nighttime routine, that new mission, and then you work on them with compassion and realize, hey, it might take me 2 months to tweak and tweak and tweak that nighttime routine till I get it. And I'm going to have to check in at 10 p.m. sometimes. And also I'm going to have to realize, like, hey, I actually 8 p.m. doesn't actually work with my lifestyle. Maybe I'm going to have to sleep later. Maybe I'm going to have to do this. Maybe I have to, as I experience and recognize my patterns, I can use patterns to empower. I actually realize I'm a night person. I always thought I was a morning person. Maybe I'm a night person. right? Patterns empower you. And then you make new patterns. And there's one final step. And that's where you can look back and rewrite your story. When I look back to the girl crying on the floor of the closet with nothing to wear, 210 pounds, that started this journey to not just be healthy, but to get the emotional weight off. Then hold on one second. I think back and I see that story differently now. I see that story. Hold on. Let me just check the chat. Okay, great. And I'll see you soon. Great. Come right back. So I see somebody who is like about to embark on this amazing journey and she didn't even know it. Like I see someone at the train of a mission that she didn't know was going to take off, and like, wow. I know so many people who look back at COVID and remember those moments when they thought that their life was going to be over and they were never going to get out of that, and instead used it to transform their relationship with someone in their life or changed habits in their family. Did anybody here have one good thing that you can look back and say came out of COVID? One good thing? Then I invite you to look back and rewrite your story and to say, hey, that's what's going to happen now. Is it made me a more emotionally aware of my vulnerability. And now I'm going to do something about it. Now I'm going to get the tools I didn't have before. You know, for me, it showed me how important relationships were with my kids. And I changed and had to learn to surrender more control. And I've been working on that and working on that and working on that and working on that. Because in COVID, when we were together so much, it showed me that pain was an invitation to do things differently, to change my neurolinguistic programming, that having teenagers isn't hard and frustrating. It's slightly inconvenient and uncomfortable, but really rewarding. Can we add to our weight loss now? I guess I want you to try that out. Weight loss, inconvenient. Let me hear you say it. Uncomfortable. You can yell it, you're on mute. Inconvenient, uncomfortable, rewarding. An invitation to something better. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I'm going to send everybody hold on right here. I'm going to send it 1 second. Give me 1 second. I need a tech person here on Zoom with me soon. It's coming. It's coming. Tech person around food is coming. Okay. I'm putting in the chat here a link to have a free discovery session to see if I'm the right coach for you and if you're a good fit for either my program or one-on-one coaching. Take a look at it. The ball's in your court. But I urge you, whether or not you choose to sign up for it, whether or not you choose to use me, please don't let this opportunity pass you by. Anne, you did amazing today. Anne and Ira, do not leave your phones or your computer screens until you message me both, please, your email so I can send you out those gift cards. Congratulations. Thank you so much for playing full out, for giving your whole heart. Can I ask you guys just one favor and unmute and tell me what you got out of today, what sat in with you, what was most valuable to you, so I learn what to do more of and I can hear from you guys what resonated most.
But I could see that you actually got me very emotional when I was talking. That was scary.
Mm-hmm. And you did it. You were
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. And it wasn't inconvenient, but it was uncomfortable.
Yeah, but you committed this time. Giving time is inconvenient sometimes. So thank you.
Thank you.
And look, go drink 2 glasses of water now so that you process that and keep taking some more deep breaths. Hand on the heart, hand on the stomach, 3 deep breaths. This is also really rewarding. With discomfort comes reward. Lynn, what did you get out today?
What you kept stressing, that losing weight, when you say losing, when we think losing weight is hard, to come to mind, it's inconvenient and uncomfortable, but it's not hard or stressful. I really like the way you emphasize that. I bolded it and put up those healthy boundaries we talked about the other day. Fill that inconvenient and uncomfortable time with fun, interesting things, rewarding. I'm going to be posting that. Thank you.
Yay! Amazing. Phenomenal. And that's going to get you there. I 100% believe in you. And I know that every day you're opening up to shine the most Lynn, I don't know, Lynn, can I share what your amazing volunteering you're doing right now?
Thank you.
Lynn is the most amazing lactation consultant. She's reopening her career as a lactation consultant. If anybody has granddaughters or daughters-in-law, she's phenomenal, and she's volunteered in Shaare Zedek for 20 years, and she's going back now after COVID to go back to volunteer in Shaare Zedek and reopen her practice, because again, let's be open to new opportunities. So what an amazing example you're setting. And please look for her in our Facebook group. And if you work with me, look for her in our private client WhatsApp group, if you have any people to recommend her to.
Thank you. And by the way, God just sent me somebody yesterday out of the blue, because I wanted to create more fun in my life. I took up dancing, tap dancing, and she became a new grandmother again. But the woman, it's her 7th baby, and she had trouble with 4 out of 6. So
Yeah.
I met her yesterday, day 1 of the baby, and hope to God we avoid all the problems.
And now when you're eating and when you're going to sleep, think, I want to be of service. I have service I need to be. I need to get to sleep.
Okay. Because I failed again last night. I didn't get to sleep till 1.
Okay. That could be a failure, but you've had nights where you've been asleep till 2. So you saved an extra hour of sleep.
Okay. Thank you.
Rachel or Meira, anybody open to sharing?
And one more thing, Lily, I learned also that after being through the 12 weeks, that was essential for me in the last 12 weeks. I realized that going forward, doing the 12 weeks again is not as conducive for where I want to get to. Because like I said to you, I want more realistic application.
Yes. Amazing. Great.
I'll be in touch.
Yeah. I'll see you in a few minutes. Remember, we have our celebration call right after this. Okay. So do you mind putting yourself on mute? Meira, how are you?
I'm good. All of the things that you said about pattern recognition and the other 2 pattern things,
Mhm.
I need to study. It's
Pattern
very, very
is
interesting.
power and
Pattern
pattern
power.
creation.
Pattern creation. Yes,
Yes.
very valuable.
Amazing. So please be in touch. Let us know how your morning routine is going with your water and your breathing and your appreciation. Are you feeling any difference?
Other than I'm going to the bathroom a lot. Yeah,
That's good.
it was only a few days. I'm trying to increase the water. I'm just going to let myself, move slowly into building up to what
Yes.
fantastic number of liters you think is a good
No,
idea.
but that's the healthy way to do it.
I'm getting up
Build
there.
slowly. Build slowly. Patterns, right?
Mm.
Patterns.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Rachel, do you have a question, or did you get something out of today you feel comfortable sharing with us? Rachel, sorry. Okay. So I'm going to wish you guys a wonderful and fantastic day. And to everybody's watching the recording, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you to everybody. And Meira and Anne, again, please don't forget to be in touch about your Amazon gift card. Bye.